Instacart shoppers know groceries. They know that you can't make guacamole with rock-hard avocados. They know how to quickly find those peanut butter pretzels you can never find. And they keep you in the know by giving you updates about your order along the way. Let Instacart shoppers help take shopping off your plate so you can get time and energy back for what really matters. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
In the year 247 in the age of judges, Vartan was summoned home by a letter stating that his father has died under mysterious circumstances. Upon returning home, Vartan opened his mind to the possibility that his father's death in his hometown of Eterno was not everything that it appeared to be. Welcome to Ethereal Embrace. That's me, Vartan. I always seem to have problems, trying to commune with nature when the rumble of my stomach kind of drowns me out. For some reason, I got wings on the mind. Man, I wonder when we're done with this if Cody can fry me up some.
Day 2. Late night. Timmoren Windcurl's farmstead. Alright, so you guys make your way in?
Yeah.
You do see there are 2 people inside that are kind of just knocked out, passed out on the floor, like just dropped unconscious onto the floor in the middle of the room. And a couple other volunteers are, like a guard and a volunteer, they're kind of hard to make out because their armor is all kind of hodgepodge the same, are trying to shake them awake, and they're looking over them for injuries, but they don't really see any visible injuries to these 2 soldiers. They just see them passed out, trying to wake them up.
Is Brasscane awake?
Brasscane is awake, yep.
Okay. Possibly go over to Brasscane and see what he's done to try to wake these people.
He's like looking over some, I don't know, he's looking over some notes or something in a notebook, trying to figure some stuff out as you approach. So he's not really paying attention as you come in.
Brass, what's going on with the wounded? Are they okay?
I'm glad to see you're here. Yes, I don't know what's going on with the wounded. I don't know what's happening with them. They just seem to have passed out. We looked over them. I don't find any injuries at all.
Do you know what happened here? There's a fire, the Zill came, some sort of buzzing demon, I believe, has caused the fire and the unconsciousness of these people.
Yeah.
What did you see?
I personally was on the other side of the farm. I heard the buzzing noise as well, and I was on a stand where the powder wasn't dropped, but I believe it fell from the sky more than anything. Some people, I believe, assumed that the Zill threw it, but I think there was something else at play here. Are they gone now?
They're dispatched. Before I go to check on the wounded, do you know anybody named Morsey?
No, I've never heard of someone named Morsey.
Brass, has anything seemed off to you recently? Has anybody showed any interest in, like, your work, what you're doing, something like that? Has something been off recently?
Not for me specifically.
With anybody? Maybe Greystone.
Greystone has been weird lately since your father died, but...
In what way, though?
More quiet and reserved. I mean, it's hard to say that it wouldn't be just because your father's dead. He's just more of a jovial person, typically. And he's not anymore.
I'm going to lean in closer and whisper, what about Timmoren? Because he's in the same room, right?
Yeah, he leans in close to you as well. And there is noise happening, right? There's soldiers, confusion, so he can lean in quietly and whisper to you.
It seems like Timmoren and Greystone have had a bit of a falling out. I couldn't tell you much more than that, though.
Well, You don't have any information on how how they've acted towards each other, or what made you think that they're having a falling out?
They used to have lunch every day in the town and talk to the other citizens of the town, greet people, and just be overall friendly with the group. And since your father died, they don't do that anymore.
All right. I got a feeling you're being targeted.
Why do you think that?
Your stand didn't catch fire. The other ones did. And my friend here told me that they were targeting a warrior inside the house. And I'm thinking that might be you. Is there any reason why somebody would be targeting you as a warrior?
I'm the most capable warrior. I mean, aside from, I would say, Magno, who's not really, committed to the town. But I am the one training the new recruits every day. And if I were to attack a town, and I would attack the person who's training the warriors.
Yeah, you need to watch your back.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Not sure what's all going on, but maybe put some extra detail around you.
Yeah, I will do. What makes you think this? I mean, aside from the stand, are you finding something? Do you think it's someone here in town?
I'm not sure yet, but if you got any more information that you think that things are out of place, individual inside of the town that's out of place, like something's been off, you got to let me know now.
I don't know of anyone being off in the town. I can tell you the only person I've thought acting a little weird outside of, the falling out between Greystone and Timmoren is Telmika. Her wits have, I don't know, degenerated, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Did that start before my father died or after?
After. I think it might have hit her. Might have hit her a little hard.
Okay.
Also, the stand that I was in, I was the closest to where the Zill had been coming into the fields and leaving the fields, and that's where the Zill came in this time as well.
So it makes no sense why your stand wouldn't be burned.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I definitely think you're being targeted.
Well, I appreciate the heads up, Vartan.
Yeah, of course. What are friends for?
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
If you find out anything else, you come to me as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But make sure you bring at least a couple people with you. And by the way, the back of the Zill, if they do attack you again, the back of them is weak.
Okay. Yeah, the same spot that Magno had mentioned before.
Yeah,
where the spear went in.
I didn't know she told you, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we hadn't confirmed it. We didn't know if it was just a one-off because of the spear, but that's good to know.
Oh yeah, I had no problem taking care of it. Well, I mean, with my friends, of course, but
right. Okay.
All right, so you guys are going to look at the two people who are passed out?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you looking for?
All of my healing spells will just give them HP. Lesser restoration can only cure blindness. Deafened, paralyzed, are they not moving at all? Are they What exactly are they doing?
They are...
Like, does it look like they could be paralyzed?
No, they're just unconscious.
Oh,
so they're just sleeping.
Throw some water on them.
Yeah, that might be the best.
Slap them.
Non-lethal slap in the face.
Well, none of my... If they're not obviously injured, none of my healing spells are going to be of any use. So, have the other people around them... I assume that they're trying to wake them up and slapping their face and pouring water on them.
They were when you first got there, but they kind of gave up on them. One person is sitting next to on the floor next to one of the unconscious people, just waiting now though. But I mean, they had water on them. They are, when you first walked in, shaking them to no avail, and so they just kind of gave up for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Have they tried that Dumb and Dumber, the most annoying sound ever?
Let's try to
Both sides in stereo.
irritate them awake. I guess I can cast Cure Wounds on one of them just to see if any kind of healing magic would affect them. So I'll cast Cure Wounds on the closest one to me. See if it does anything.
It does not do anything for it.
Baya will just hold one of them and rub their hair. Say, I'm sorry for what's happened to you.
Okay, so there's people talking and trying to figure some stuff out. Brasscane is flipping through a book, looking through. It's like an older book, like a textbook, but it's got some information on demons on it in the book, and he's flipping through it with just trying to like pull some myths to try and figure this out, right? Trying to do some last minute research. And after what seems like a good amount of time, maybe 7 or 8 minutes, both of the unconscious people sit upright really quick and gasp with a and taking a lot of oxygen and look wide-eyed around the room and try to get their bearings as they are both awakened at the same time.
So one of them, you can choose which one, has been sitting in my lap. I'm holding them like, I don't know, you would hold an unconscious person and rubbing their face, their hair, like out of their face, just rubbing the side of their face, like telling them it's going to be okay, waiting for them to wake up. So you can choose which one wakes up in my arms.
Yep, we'll say that's Philip. Philip wakes up in your arms and gasps for air and tries to go up, but you soothe Philip back down in a very nurturing way.
It's okay, buddy. What's your name? You'll be all right.
I'm Philip.
Yeah.
Oh,
You had quite a scare there. You scared us as well.
yeah. Are we safe? Is everyone safe?
Everyone's safe, buddy. We took care of it. You're okay. You're in a good place.
I think I can get up now. I think I'm all right.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm gonna go and figure out what happened and who did this and try to stop it from happening to anybody else again. Okay?
Okay. And Philip gives you a very strange look.
Now I'm going to say, now hold on a second. What was the last thing you remember before you fell unconscious?
Okay, so Philip went to stand up, and your big furbog hand kind of pushes him back down.
Yeah.
He says, okay. I heard a buzzing noise, a droning noise, like really big wings, like insect wings, like when it's really close to your ear, only really large, just above me. I went to look up, but before I could see anything, my vision went black and I fell down to the ground.
You sure you didn't see anything?
He sits there for a second and he thinks and he says, I mean, I saw, I don't know, a nightmarish creature. It probably was just a hallucination. Whatever made me fall down and pass out. It just looked like a giant bug with a giant stinger on its nose. I don't know. It was like purple looking and had giant
beady eyes, but it couldn't have been real. I had to have dreamt it.
All right, I'm gonna look over the other guy and I'm gonna grab him and be like, "Hey, what was the last thing you saw before you went unconscious?"
He gives a very similar description, and Baya, you do recognize that even though they both think that it was a hallucination, that is what a chasm would look like.
Okay.
All right, go get some water. Like, take care of yourself. Y'all can come in here now and help them out. I don't know why y'all didn't come over here.
Philip goes to get up and kind of hesitates for a second to make sure you don't put your hand back on him, and like you're not going to change your mind for whatever reason, and gets up slowly and then kind of scurries away to go get a drink of water.
Ovyck, you got a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can go on.
Baya's gonna go over to Brasscane and say, well, I do believe what you're looking for here is a chasm. And she tries to flip to the page of the chasm.
Okay. You flip to a page where there is a chasm, and it doesn't have the name chasm on the page, but it does have a picture of the creature, and it is a six-limbed flying insectoid with 4 wings, 2 on each side, and a large spike on its nose. And there's not a lot of information in the book about it, but Brasscane points down and says,
It looks like they're kind of psychic to some degree. Interesting. It looks like they kind of... It says that magical effects don't really harm them as much as some of the other demons. That's all it really says, though. You're sure this is what attacked the farm? I didn't see this.
Baya pulls out the wing from her bag and shows it to him.
I'll be damned. Where'd you find this?
This was in the cabin where Kyrian was murdered.
Huh. Vartan, do you think one of these killed your father?
I mean, that's the only clue we got right now. I'm guessing they claw things to death, or bite them, or suck them dry, or something.
Yeah.
Based on the looks of that in that book. I don't know anything about them. This is the first I heard of them.
Okay. I think there's been a lot that happened tonight, and maybe some confusion about some stuff, but I'm going to report it back to Greystone. I'll show it to Timmoren here as well, and I'm going to start working on a security detail, just like you said.
Yeah, about that. Let's keep that between us right now.
We don't want to tell Greystone?
You're being targeted, and I'm going to lean in closer. I'm not sure what's going on between Timmoren and Greystone, but things are off, and I'm trying to find out what's going on. I'm not sure I trust Greystone right now.
So, you want me to just keep this between you and I? For now.
For now. Let me see if I can find more information, or if you can find more information and bring that back to me. Go with the story that was told to begin with about the Zill throwing the fire powder or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but go with that story, the original story that was brought back here.
Okay. I'm going to do this for you, Vartan, but it's kind of confusing for me tonight. But I'll trust you. I trust you implicitly. Explicitly.
But try and keep your guards like on the lookout for anything else suspicious without giving anything away, because I don't know who to trust right now, but right now I feel like I can trust you, because I believe that you're being targeted by this Morzai fella. I don't know, whoever it is.
Okay. I'll do some research into these chasm creatures, and I'll check the temple, check their books there. I know they've got some works on demons as well. And I'll take a look and see what I can find. And then I'll see if I can find anything about Morazai. See if maybe they're connected. Some demon as well, maybe. I don't know. I'll check.
Just keep all that information discreet, because, I don't know, maybe we can catch somebody slipping up.
If I find anything, I'll come to you first.
I appreciate it, Fram. So what's next?
Yeah, so you guys tell me what's next. I mean, it's nighttime and it is getting late, and you are kind of tired from fighting, right? So, you're not too far from your home if you want to call it a rest, or if you want to try and go set something up. A couple of the people, once Philip and NPC number 2 wake up, a couple of the people do go outside and go to the well and start pulling buckets of water to go put the fires out on the stands. But that's what's happening around you guys right now. So what do you all want to do?
I'd like to do an insight check on our conversation with Brasscane. And then go check on Timmoren to make sure that his farm is okay.
Timmoren was in the house. He was actually getting water for the people who were fighting, and he was helping just get people to calm down and make sure the doors were locked, and he is like closing all the windows and stuff. Just being busy. Okay, so what are you looking for with your conversation with Brasscane?
So, he seemed... I just want to make sure that he was actually looking through the book to figure out what was going on, and that he was surprised when the chasm was brought up.
Okay, yeah.
And, because he wasn't attacked.
Right.
Nobody, went for him that we noticed.
Right, yep. So, go ahead and make your insight roll.
It just seems really weird.
He's just got a book of demons laying around?
Right. 21.
So yeah, you do feel like it is legit. You're not quite positive why he has the book of demons around, but probably just because you are fighting the Zill, and he's probably finding, there's likely a page about the Zill in that book that he's got, and that's why he's holding on to it, is what you kind of connect with that line of thinking. So, but with a 21, you are very confident he's not being malicious or sneaky or lying, and he was legitimately surprised about the findings and then confused during your conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look over to Ovyck and Baya, because I'm not gonna do an insight. Well, Vartan wouldn't do an insight roll. Just be like, me and Brass grew up together. Like, if I could trust anybody here, it'd be him or Terranil.
Thanks, Vartan. I appreciate that.
And Brasscane's gonna close the book and start going outside to help take water to the burning stands.
I didn't realize he was still there.
And then, Baya, you want to make your way over to Timmoren?
Yeah, just as a wellness check.
Okay. So you go over, and how do you start this conversation?
I go over, I put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Hey, buddy, just want to make sure that you're okay. I know that, your poor farm, there's been a lot going on, How you feeling?"
I'm just happy that no one was truly injured. I was grabbing some bandages when Brasscane told me that I did not need them. So, while my crops are definitely suffering from these invasions, from these creatures, these monstrosities, I would rather my crops be damaged than the people of Eternal. I'm glad to see you're safe.
Oh, honey, and I'm glad to see that you're safe too. Is there anything that you can tell us to kind of help us figure out what's going on? Did you see anything?
I did not see anything here at all. Brasscane does not let me outside of the house during the evening when his watches are here, despite my adamant requests to be out there defending the property. He says that I am too valuable a member of this town to be risking myself out on a stand. Brasscane had it his way, I would be in town with the children huddled up in a house somewhere. Can you believe that?
I understand the frustration, but you are a very valuable member. You lift this town up. I mean, you're a hero. You know, you bring the mushrooms, right? He has a mushroom farm, yeah?
Yeah, he's the mushroom farmer, yep. Sunshrooms.
And your personality, you're just a very charming person, and this town would be detrimented to lose you. So I understand his concern. You're one of the pillars of the community. You need to take care of yourself, because if we lose you, then what's giving the faith to the rest of us? Plus, I mean, you're a lovely, lovely person. And we rely on you. So thank you for everything you do.
I appreciate your kindness and your kind words, and I cannot tell you how appreciative I am that you have come to defend my property and our friends here. It means the world to have you here helping out. Sorry that the ceilings in my house are so small. I know you must be feeling cramped in this old halfling's house.
Slightly, but that's okay. Did you notice anything? Do you know why they're attacking this area? I did hear they were looking for someone. Are you aware of that?
I'm not. That is the first that I've heard of such a thing. Who are they looking for?
Insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
And I can't tell if it's just his voice, but he seems slightly robotic. 21. Or 20, sorry.
Old
20.
Southern guys can't be trusted.
Yeah.
You don't think he's outright lying, but you think he might have some suspicions, or at least have some inkling of what's going on.
Well, Timmoren, I feel like there's something going on here, and I'd like to get to the bottom of it. Do you have any ideas that could help us, so then maybe you can be free to roam your farm whenever you want?
Make a persuasion check.
That's my strong suit.
Nice.
19.
Okay. Wow. He takes a moment and stands a little bit more upright, stiffens his back, looks out the window at his farm and the burning stands that lean toward the woods, and then looks out the other side of the house toward Kirian's old house, and he says, "The only thing that I'm wondering is my farm is directly between the wood line where these creatures seem to be coming out and Kirian's house. And I believe my suspicions about what Kirian was doing may have triggered these events. And I think maybe these creatures are not trying to attack my house, but trying to get to Kirian's, and we are just in the way."
So, just from a logistics point of view, when we came up, were the Zill heading towards Kirian's house, and were the stands that were in the way, or were the stands that were burned, were they in the way of them getting to Kirian's house?
The one stand that was closest to where the Zill came out of the woods was not burned, but the two stands that were behind that, between that stand and the farm, were burned, and that was directly in between the wood line where they come from and the and Kirian's house. So yeah, it would be in that path if it was a direct line.
And the Zill were heading in that path.
They were, but the Zill, obviously, I mean, they took some kind of combat route to fight off the people who were in between.
So they could have meant we need to get a warrior from the house. They could have meant Kyrion's house.
They could have. Yep. It's a possibility.
Interesting theory. Well, if you think of anything else, we might be heading back to Kyrion's house to try and rest up and figure everything out.
If I think of anything at all, you will be the first person that I reach out to. Travel safe on your way home.
Thank you. And she hugs him before leaving.
Yeah.
Or finding Vartan and Ovyck, actually.
You
she doesn't just leave.
You are in the halfling house, so it's kind of like you're like bent over, right? Because the ceiling's too high, and so you hug him like around his shoulders and head. He just stays there with his arms, holding a cup of water. And
she just hugs his head.
Yeah.
While she's hugging him, I'm gonna say, so you want to be out there fighting? Do you consider yourself a warrior?
Well, he's in the embrace. He says, I do not think of myself as a true warrior, but I do believe myself a man who will protect his property from monstrosities.
Hey, that's a good answer. Thank you.
And quite a strong man you are. And she lets go of the hug.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ethereal Embrace, and A Fool's Quest production. Vartan the Furbog Fighter is voiced and played by Adam Culbertson. Baya Rustin, the half-elf sorcerer, is voiced and played by Tisha. Ovyck, the Tiefling Cleric, is voiced and played by Chris Johnson. And I am Nico, your GM. Please remember to drop us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcatcher. Music provided in part by Midnight Syndicate, makers of the original Dungeons & Dragons soundtrack. If you would like to follow us on social media or say hello to the cast, details on where to find us will be in this episode's notes. Remember, be safe, we love you all, and stay foolish.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.